Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you have taken the time to invest a little bit of your day in learning about how to build up a healthy immune system for your family so that you can have the healthiest year yet. Back to school is usually not something I like to think about in July. I'm a teacher, and typically the month of July is the one month that we can actually just relax and then have a summer vacation. But it is really important that we start thinking about back to school now in terms of building up our immune systems so that we're prepared when everybody comes back from break and shares all those lovely germs. So that's why we need this time before the back to school actually happens, so we can be proactive and preventative in our approach to health and wellness this school year. So just a little bit about me and why this is such a topic that is really important to me. I mentioned I'm a teacher. I teach high school. And so I'm exposed every hour to a new group of about 30 students throughout the day. And I have two school-aged kids. One of them is in a building with 500 other students, and the other is in a building with about 1,000 other students. So they're exposed. You think of the common areas that everybody uses every day, like the gym, the cafeteria, the bathrooms. They're exposed to lots and lots of people and potentially different pathogens. And then my husband works in an office that has a large open type concept, and he manages a large team of people with who he has a lot of close contact throughout the day. So I was doing a little bit of calculating, and it turns out that on an average school day or work day for us, we are, as a family combined, exposed to over 2,000 people and their germs. So building a strong immune system is crucial so that we don't have a lot of sick days, missed work days, absences, and just so we don't have to suffer through that illness. So whatever we can do to prevent and fight off things naturally, we are all about it. So I encourage you to grab a pen and paper and just jot down anything that you may have questions to ask at the end of the presentation, or you can certainly email or message your doTERRA contacts or mentor, or I'm happy, of course, to answer questions as well if you are catching this on our recording later. So we'll go ahead, we'll get started here and jump on in, and hopefully this is all going to be smooth sailing. All right. So as I talked about, we want to have our healthiest year yet. When we started using the essential oils, specifically the On Guard blend, on a daily basis several years ago, we saw an immediate improvement in our overall health and immunity. In fact, it's been several years that we haven't really had to visit the doctor or the clinic for anything other than, regular checkups. So that's pretty awesome. It's money saving, it's time saving, and it's saving yourself from being sick. So back to school, this is, we're starting to think about this a month ahead of time so that we give our bodies the opportunity to build up an immune system. It's not something that can happen overnight, but we want to build that strong immunity and foundation of health. So this also can apply to anybody. We're going to talk about things that could be beneficial for anyone from preschool to college age, parents, any adult who works, like I mentioned, in an office environment, grandparents, and certainly teachers as well. All right. So one thing that we want to remember is that nature produces almost everything that we need to be healthy and to function properly. And so as long as we're giving our body the things that it needs, it's going to have the ability to heal and protect itself. So that's kind of the whole concept today that we're going to talk about. What are the things from nature that we can use to meet all of our body's needs so that we can heal ourselves? And there are four main components that we're going to touch on. Specifically, enhanced immunity is obviously, we're going to be focusing on that. That's the whole purpose here. Getting proper rest is a big part of wellness. Mental clarity and focus, especially when we're talking about work and school, we want to make sure that we have that focus and clarity. And then diet and nutrition. And these are all kind of the four main components of wellness. Wellness is kind of an overarching term that we use to describe our health and well-being. So the first component of wellness, let's talk about, is building immunity. And our amazing Dr. David Hill, one of doTERRA's founders and lead scientists, says our immune systems are the first line of defense against diseases and viruses. So that is it. That's what nature gave us. They gave us an immune system, and that is the first line of defense against any type of threat or pathogen. So it makes sense that that's where we start our focus. A lot of people are starting to learn more about this and become more aware, but I know when I first heard about 70% of our immune function is in our gastrointestinal tract, that was really shocking to me. We don't think about, when you get a sore throat that your gut has anything to do with that. But in fact, it is your first line of defense against viruses, fungi, bacteria, and toxins. So it makes sense that it has a huge surface area because it has a massive job to do. So our intestines have a surface area equivalent to that of a tennis court. So you can imagine how important gastrointestinal health is in building a healthy immune system. So that's what we are going to take a look at. There are different defenses that our body has and that we can utilize, whether they are internal or external. And just some examples of external defenses are going to be that On Guard protective blend. That's going to come into play a lot during this talk today because it is so powerful and such a wonderful tool to use to support our body. You can diffuse this in your house. I love to have it diffusing when we all come home from work and school. Like I said, we have over 2,000 people's germs that we're bringing home with us. And so that creates a nice way to kind of just cleanse the air and any pathogens that we may have brought home with us. You can put it in a spray bottle and use it for surfaces. It can be applied directly to the feet. We can take it internally, and there are more uses that we'll talk about here in a bit as well. Some additional internal defenses that we are going to fortify are going to be using the probiotics, the PB Assist. You can also implement fermented foods into your diet, which have beneficial bacteria and enzymes. Kombucha is an example of a healthful drink that contains healthy probiotics. It's a delicious fermented tea. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're already enjoying different soft drinks throughout the day. It's a great healthy switch. On Guard again, here we go. We can't stop the On Guard because it is so effective. It is a great blend, and there are some other immune boosting oils as well that we can take internally, and we'll look at those here in a moment. And then a great daily thing that you can do just to promote overall wellness is to drink lemon in your water throughout the day. It's gently and naturally going to help cleanse and detox and keep the body flowing and usher out some of those toxins that we can't avoid. They're in our air, they're in our water, they're in our foods, they're in the packaging that things come in, they're in our body products. So helping our body be effective in eliminating them is really a great way to keep our immune system running smoothly as well. So let's take a look. To boost our immune system internally, we talked about how gastrointestinal health is so important. And really, it's all about a healthy balance of the gut flora, all the different organisms that reside in the intestinal tract. So what we want to do is we want to use a good probiotic, whether it's the PB Assist, which you can kind of think of as the grown-up version. That was the initial product from doTERRA. And now they've launched the PB Assist Junior, which is an awesome, awesome probiotic. It's a powder. It kind of works like a little pixie stick, so the kids love it. It has a great flavor. But of course, this is doTERRA, so there are no sugars or artificial dyes or flavorings. They made sure to keep it pure and healthy. Now, both of these are going to be effective and beneficial for any age. If you have an adult who doesn't like to swallow capsules, they can certainly take the PB Assist Junior. They both contain the same number of organisms. The PB Assist capsule, I just want to mention that this is brilliantly designed, and it's a lot different than just something you can pull off the shelves at the supermarket. If you notice, you'll see it's a double encapsulated design. So we have a clear capsule on the outside, and that contains some prebiotics, which are going to empty into the stomach and set the body up to be able to utilize the probiotics, which are in the little green capsule inside there. And that doesn't open up until it actually gets to where it's most beneficial, which is in the intestines. So that is an awesome, awesome design to make these even more effective for us. Now, the PB Assist have an amazing patented technology with encapsulation to allow them to survive all the way to the gut as well. Each of these, either a packet or a capsule, are going to have 5 billion live strains. This is going to help support healthy digestive functions along with the immune system. They go hand in hand. And of course, build up our immunities and have a healthy GI tract. Sometimes organisms and things can kind of get stuck and hide out in our intestines. So this is going to help kind of get rid of those and have a healthy balance of bacteria so that we don't become more vulnerable to threats and pathogens. There are 6 different strains of microorganisms in both of these formulas, which having a variety is important because each has their own little unique benefit. And of course, these are safe for the entire family. A child could take the PB Assist capsule as long as they're comfortable swallowing a pill. And an adult could take the PB Assist Junior if they don't like to swallow pills. So they're all beneficial and they are all equal. Now here are some additional oils. In addition to the On Guard blend, which we're going to explore the oils that make that up here in a minute, cinnamon is a powerful antibacterial oil. Frankincense is good for every single cell and function in the body. Lemon has great antioxidants and is cleansing to help get rid of toxins that can burden our system. Oregano, this is one of the most powerful antibiotic substances that they have found. And the cool thing about oregano is it does not contribute to antibiotic resistance. They've tested it to be as or more powerful than the 17 most prescribed antibiotics on the market. So it's a powerhouse oil. It's not one you're going to use every day, but when you need it, it's amazing to have it because it really, really is great at protecting our body and supporting our immune system. Thyme is in the same family as oregano, so it has many of those same properties, and each one just has a little bit different chemical component that helps it be effective in different ways. And then the On Guard throat drops. These are awesome little lozenges that contain the On Guard blend, so it's a great thing to have to use when you're kind of out and about on the go and you don't have all your oils with you. Now, we are not going to be living in a bubble with a force field around us. We are going to be exposed to pathogens and things, and we are going to be vulnerable at times. And you may start to feel like you're coming down with a little something, or you may realize that you were exposed to something that you certainly do not want to develop. So this is kind of a little extra. This is for when you need an extra boost of immune support. I like to call this mix Flume. If you look at the first letters of each of the oils, frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, and then melaleuca. Now, we've talked about most of those oils, but melaleuca is a great addition because, as I mentioned, antibiotic-resistant organisms are a serious problem. And what the melaleuca does is it kind of buddies up with oregano, and it helps strip away the film or the layer on the outside of those organisms that it has built as a defense, and that allows the oregano to get in there and help fight that bacteria more effectively. So it's really, really cool. This can be taken in a veggie cap. These are really handy to have on hand. You just put a drop of each in there. You can even add a little olive oil if you want to dilute it a bit, just for digestive purposes. Or you can put it in a roll-on bottle to apply to the feet. That's a great way to do this with kids in particular, or adults as well if you don't like to take the capsules. You just roll it on the feet every couple hours that you are trying to support or defend against a pathogen. Just keep in mind that these are 100% pure plant extracts, and so they metabolize through the body a lot more quickly than taking a synthetic substance. So frequent application is really beneficial. And just kind of a heads up, oregano is what we call a hot oil. So that's why it's important to dilute, especially for kids with tender skin, if you're going to be applying topically. So On Guard is kind of the everyday defense. We use it every day to keep ourselves protected against pathogens. And then that immune boost formula is for times when we are vulnerable or we have possibly been exposed to something. But the On Guard is something we really want to start using every day as we're working up and trying to build up a strong immunity between now and the start of the school year. It can be diffused at home so that everybody's getting the benefit of it. I also diffuse it throughout the school year in my classroom. And I will tell you, I started diffusing in my classroom 2 years ago, and I noticed within 2 weeks that my absences dropped dramatically. I live in Iowa, and in the Midwest, we have really long, cold winters, and it's kind of prime time for these germs to go around and circulate, and it seems like this never-ending cycle. But it was amazing once I started diffusing how it broke that cycle, and I started having my kids healthy and back in class sooner if they were ill, or not even missing anymore because those germs were kind of being protected. Also, the first sign of any illness, you can kind of bump up your applications. 1 time a day on the bottom of the feet is a great daily maintenance. But once you start feeling like you need a little extra, you can start taking it internally in a capsule, start taking the beadlets, or do extra applications on the feet. The important thing is consistency. I do back off a little bit in the summer because our exposures are less and there aren't as many illnesses that are going around. But right now is the time to start back on that daily usage. So On Guard is so amazing that there are multiple products that you can use and kind of swap out for things that you are already using in your home. They provide a safer, healthier alternative to some of the antibacterial or chemical products that are commonly used in schools and at home. So let's just take a look quickly. The beadlets I mentioned, this is a great way to get a quick little boost of your immune system by taking one of those internally. I take in the winter time, I take them about 2 or 3 a day. The On Guard throat drops, they have a numbing effect. These are great for any kind of throat discomfort. They contain the On Guard blend, so not only is it soothing a scratchy throat, but you're also getting that immune boosting and bacteria fighting property as well. Of course, we've got the blend there that can be used in the diffuser, put it in a roll-on bottle, multiple applications for that, including making your own hand sanitizer, which we'll kind of talk about here in a minute. The On Guard toothpaste is amazing. It's a very safe toothpaste, but also very, very effective to fight the bacteria in your mouth and have healthy oral hygiene. In fact, cinnamon, which is one of the oils featured in On Guard, has been shown in studies to be very, very effective against the bacteria that causes cavities. So I have 2 kids, 5 and 8, and we've been using the On Guard toothpaste for about 5 years, and neither of them have ever had a cavity. My husband and I have not had any since we've started using the On Guard as well. So it is very powerful yet safe and gentle. The On Guard cleaning concentrate, I use this on every surface of the house. I don't have any other household cleaners under my kitchen sink, just this bottle and then my spray bottle that I dilute it and use it. You can literally use this on everything, including fabric. I've gotten out some stains and things from our chairs and furniture. So it's amazing. Of course, it's got the On Guard blend in there. Very, very powerful, but safe. And then the foaming hand wash. This is a great alternative to those antibacterial soaps that contain some very harmful chemicals like triclosan, which, by the way, is also present in toothpaste. We don't want to be ingesting the triclosan, you guys. It will kill off it will kill off anything basically that it comes in contact with. It doesn't discriminate. So what they found is that people who use products with the triclosan or the other antibacterial chemicals, it damages their immune system because it's not only killing off any bad bacteria, but it's killing off that good, healthy gut flora where our immune system resides. So it makes you actually more vulnerable to illness. The other oils that are in the blend, we talked about cinnamon being effective specifically against mouth bacteria, but wild orange is an oil that contains antioxidants. It's cleansing, has antiseptic properties. But the cool thing about orange, and the reason that it is in this blend, is that it encourages the body and helps the body produce its own antioxidant, which is glutathione. And having healthy levels of glutathione is extremely important for our overall immunity and our health. The clove oil has one of the highest ratings on the scale that measures antioxidants. So this is a powerhouse antioxidant. It's going to help with a wide variety of threats and provide superior protection. And then eucalyptus and rosemary both have some great properties that are supportive to the immune system and protective against either virus, fungus, or bacterial threats. So if you think about this, every desktop, pencil sharpener, doorknob, faucet, everything that an infected child touches becomes colonized with those germs. And, you know, we have kids who are sniffling and sneezing and coughing all the time in our classrooms. They feel okay enough to come to school, but yet they clearly have some kind of infection going on. And so we obviously want to be able to protect against the spread of those germs. So here's what we can do. We can create an On Guard spray that's effective and safe to use for surfaces, on your hands, or even in your mouth. So it's great to have on hand. Put it in your purse, your backpack, your kid's backpack. You can use it to clean and wipe down surfaces at school or at home, like your keyboard, your mouse, your desk. Wipe your phone, anything that goes, you know, in places. I teach high school, so I see kids all the time with their phones in the bathrooms, and they take them in the stalls with them. And I'm just thinking that is a recipe for germs. So cleaning your cell phones even from time to time with it is a good idea. And then I always give myself a little spray and, you know, wipe my hands before eating lunch. It's 99.99% effective in germ removal, which is awesome. And I want to differentiate a little bit. If you look at some of the popular products that are in classrooms and in homes, Clorox wipes, Lysol spray, disinfectant spray, the things that have the different chemicals that sanitize, if you read the fine print on the back, it tells you that you have to rub vigorously for minutes in order to reach the level of effectiveness and germ removal that they claim. So with the On Guard, we don't have to do that. And in fact, you don't have to wipe it off. You can just spray it on the surface if you want, and it will continue to protect. They did a little study and they found that a table that was treated with On Guard, protected that surface from any colonization of germs for up to 7 days. So they took a culture of MRSA, which is a very, very serious antibiotic-resistant bacteria. It's a common problem in hospitals. And they treated a surface with On Guard, and then every day for 7 days, they tried to introduce that bacteria, and it wouldn't grow. So this is a fabulous and safe non-chemical way to protect against the growth and spread of germs. So moving on to our second component here, and this is jam-packed with important information, you guys. I'm trying to keep it short for you, but there's just so much good stuff to share. So we'll try to keep plugging ahead here. So sufficient sleep and rest is another major part of overall health and wellness. Our immune system regenerates and renews itself while we sleep, and the different organs and systems of the body go through a very specific healing and rejuvenation process while we are sleeping. So we really have to get our kiddos and ourselves, which I'm guilty too, enough rest to be in their prime shape. And it is found, as documented, that individuals who have insufficient sleep have an increased incidence of illness. Our immune system becomes depleted, it doesn't fully get to restore itself, and therefore we're more susceptible to illnesses. So establishing daily routines is really important. And when we think about moving from summer back into a more structured routine with our school day, then this is going to become even more important in the next week or two to start moving towards those healthy routines to get our sleep. So this is really interesting. How much sleep do people really need? It varies by age. You can tell, obviously, we know newborns sleep a lot or need to sleep a lot, and then all the way up through adults who should be getting between 7 to 9 hours a night. But look at our preschoolers and our school-aged kids. 11 hours of sleep. I know my kids don't routinely get 11 hours of sleep, which is something that is a goal of mine this school year to be better with. But I would venture to guess about 80% of kids aren't getting the sleep that they really, really need. And that's where we're starting to see people with more and more illnesses. And all lost sleep accumulates progressively as a larger and larger sleep indebtedness. And what this means is, going and being sleep deprived for a lengthy period of time, you can't just take a weekend and catch up, so to say, on sleep, because it's accumulated damage to our body and our immune system over time. So it's going to take a while to heal and recover from a long period of lack of sleep. So a great routine, very, very simple to implement, that you can start immediately, is using balance in the morning to help start your day off right, and then using Serenity in the evening. And actually, Serenity has now been reformulated and updated. It's no longer the calming blend, but it is the restful blend, because doTERRA recognized the science and statistics showing that more and more Americans are suffering from lack of sleep, which is contributing to illnesses. They added additional oils to this blend that are specifically targeting helping us to get restful sleep, fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and have more deep healing sleep. So how do we use Serenity? There's multiple ways. You find your favorite way, but something super easy is to diffuse it in the room where you are hanging out an hour before going to sleep. So if you cuddle and have story time with your child, start that diffuser immediately when you start your bedtime routine. If you stay up and read yourself in bed or whatever, then you would start it at that point. You could spray it on a pillow, or even just put a little bit on your fingers and rub it in on the pillow. You can give a nice little back rub and apply it to the spine or on the bottom of the feet, or even put a couple drops in the bathtub to have a nice relaxing bath that's going to help eliminate, anxious feelings and emotional distress and allow you to get some better sleep. And then balance is a great oil to start off with, because if you start off grounded and, balanced in your emotions and your stress levels, then you're going to have a more, productive day. You're going to keep those stress levels minimized, which high levels of stress increase the production of cortisol, which is damaging to our body as well. So this is great. Also, you can use it throughout the day. It calms and relaxes, but it doesn't make you sleepy like the Serenity. So it's a great one for anxious feelings, for kiddos who may have, anxieties about school, or if there's like a big event or something that they're a little worried about. It can help calm those emotions. It'd be great to use in the workplace to soothe away any tensions, maybe before a big meeting if you're a little bit nervous, or after a big meeting if it didn't go the way that you were hoping. And it can relieve restlessness and irritability as well. Places to apply could be the back of the neck, base of the skull, the temples, on the feet. You think about grounding yourself, having a solid foundation. You could put it right on the feet and help ground you that way. And it's balancing to the whole nervous system, and it can be a stabilizer throughout the day for you. So some other great oils that help with sleep is lavender, which is a main component in the Serenity blend, Roman chamomile, marjoram, ylang ylang, sandalwood, frankincense, bergamot, and vetiver. So if you don't have the Serenity blend, but you have some of these other oils, you could certainly come up with a combination that you enjoy that seems to work best for you and your family. And to use these, you would do it the same way with the Serenity. Diffuse or apply to the bottom of the feet. One note is that bergamot is a citrus oil, so we just want to be careful if we're applying topically and not going out into direct sunlight afterwards. So once you've got a good sleep routine and habits, you're going to feel more mental clarity and focus, first of all, if you're getting enough sleep. But of course, our lives are pretty stressful. We have a lot going on from day to day. Our kids are in activities, or we have work functions and personal relationships and social outings, and there are a lot of demands on us. So having the ability to support our body and kind of bring us back and focus and have some mental clarity is really important. Here's an awesome combination. I use this in my classroom very often. My students love it and they request it. I'm diffusing it right now as well. It's citrus bliss and peppermint. So this is a great one. Like I mentioned, you can diffuse, but you could also apply it to the temples, the brainstem, the forehead, if you're really wanting to enhance that focus and clarity. It really is helpful for mood as well. It invigorates all the senses, kind of helps just get everything enlivened again. Calming and soothing as well. I know those seem like they would play against each other, but it takes any nervous energies and kind of like hyper feeling and calms that down, and then helps you just focus and be invigorated, if that makes sense. It can help with memory patterns. So this is a good one to diffuse. Like I said, I do it in my classroom, but also maybe when studying. And then you could do it in a roller bottle or spray or whatever too. Find the way that you find most effective and that you enjoy. Again, it's got the citrus oils, so we just want to take precautions that we're not applying it and then going out directly into sunlight afterwards. Another option is Intune, which is the focus blend. So this was specifically created for focus. It helps sustain and enhance focus. So anybody who has a little bit of difficulty paying attention or staying on task, I know adults and kids alike have issues with that. This would be a great one to send with your college-age students to help them with their long study sessions or writing papers, cramming for finals, all of that kind of stuff. And it also helps promote healthy thought processes. So kind of being able to process information and work through problems and not kind of getting stuck and then distracted. Here are a couple of other really good options. So for doing homework or studying or doing a project, you can have peppermint and wild orange as a great energizer. I use this in the afternoons, kind of after, after fifth period. We have 7 periods in our day. And, it's been after lunch and then another class, and the energy starts to get zapped. And I just put a drop of each in my hand and then rub together a little bit and then inhale several times deeply through my nose. And I'll tell you, it's amazing. It's a great little boost of energy and helps me get through the day with a positive attitude and be productive. And then lemon and rosemary are great specifically for memory. And I've read studies and I've researched the impact of rosemary on memory, and it helps with recall and it helps with memory patterns. So here's just a little bit about the rosemary. It increases memory by 75%. So you can diffuse it when you're studying, and then when you go to take a test or assessment or try to recall that information, take a little inhalation of that aroma, and you'll have a 75% higher success rate with your memory. Okay, diet and nutrition. This is our 4th component. We've all heard the terms, you are what you eat. And you may have heard the expression too, that everything that you eat either fights disease or feeds disease. And there's really not anything neutral. And our bodies respond differently to different foods. So overall, the idea is to go for an 80-20. We can't be perfect all the time. But if 80% of the time we are eating the foods that are meeting our body's needs, we're going to be able to maintain a decent, a good level of our health and well-being. Lots of greens. Greens seem to be one of the hardest things to get into kids in particular, but I know even adults who don't really care for certain vegetables. So the Terra greens is a really good option just to help supplement if you're having trouble getting in enough. They're 100% natural, great way to get in some greens. Fruit could be utilized as a dessert instead of sugary processed foods. Good lean proteins. We don't want, highly processed, extremely fatty foods that are going to be difficult to digest. Foods with fiber, again, helping with that digestive system and gut health. A lower sugar intake. The sugar that is in the foods and processed foods today is through the roof, and sugar has a very, very negative impact on the immune system in particular, but also on mental health and mental clarity and focus. And then don't forget those fermented foods. Kombucha is a beverage that's so easy to implement every day. Just make a swap with your morning latte or something. Kimchi and different krauts and pickled and fermented foods are options too. And if your kids are giving you a hard time as far as, why you're so focused on the nutrition, just educate them and tell them why. If they understand the reasoning and it's not just you trying to, force this food upon them, they can start to become empowered as well and make good choices when they are not at home and they have freedom to choose their foods at school or at a social outing. So, we talked about the 80-20, but the truth is with the way that our food is produced anymore, you could eat perfectly all day and organically all day, but we're still going to have some deficiencies. So finding a really good quality food-based supplement to help fill in those gaps and meet our body's needs is going to be a really important part of having that foundation of nutrition and then building upon that. So for the adults, anybody 12 years or over can take the Lifelong Vitality pack. And this is a 3-pack of supplements that are 3 different formulas that work synergistically and address different types of needs of the body. So the Microplex VMZ, that's your food nutrient complex. That's got all your vitamins and minerals that we should be getting from our foods, but most of us are lacking. So we need to supplement a little bit. The XE Omega contains certain essential oils as well as those very important omega fatty acids, super important for brain function, heart health, and overall immune function. We tend to have a very imbalanced intake in the American diet where we're getting a lot of omega-9, but not enough omega-3s. So this is going to help get those healthy 3s, which are anti-inflammatory. And then the cellular vitality complex is going to help with healthy cellular processes, the mitochondria and all of those processes that go on at a microscopic level in our body. There is a daily nutrient pack that does not contain the alpha CRS. If people don't feel they need that extra energy and vitality, you can just do the Microplex and the XCO. And then for kids or adults who don't like to take pills, you can do the A to Z chewable tablets, and then pair that with the IQ Mega fish oil. That's your fatty acids, those omegas that we talked about. Now, I want you to know, I was a little skeptical on the fish oil for kids, but they have done an amazing job. doTERRA deodorizes it, puts it through a purification process, and then utilizes the natural aromatics of wild orange oil to help give it a really pleasant flavor and smell. So it is not fishy at all. I promise your kids won't fight you on taking it. And then the chewable as well, it's not going to contain a bunch of sugar or dyes or anything like that, just a nice natural fruit flavor. It's inevitable. We're going to have some tummy issues at some point. My daughter has come home from school sick, and immediately I start utilizing the Digest Zen, and it's within hours that she can keep the foods down and she has an appetite back. It's just amazing. So you can take this in a soft gel, or you can utilize the oil in many different ways. It's great for occasional stomach upsets. It helps with the healthy gastrointestinal tract, and it helps with digestion as well. This is one of those oils that some people utilize every day who have struggled with the health of their gastrointestinal tract. And then for others, like in our family, we're typically healthy in the digestive area, but when you need it, you really need it, and you're glad you have it. Seasonal, this is kind of a bonus little component here. Other support. Seasonal threats are something that I see people suffering from a lot, specifically in the spring, and then throughout the summer, and then again in the fall when there's a harvest. So lemon, lavender, and peppermint are going to be an excellent combination for you that's going to help cleanse the body, calm the immune system's overreaction to different things in the environment, and then help with any clear breathing or respiratory function that you may be suffering with. So a couple drops in water a few times a day. You can put it in a capsule. You can run these 3 in a diffuser. But now they also make these available in a soft gel called Tri-Ease, which I have been so grateful for because I have different things that I react to and get hives, and it provides such great immediate support for my body and helps just calm that down. If you have respiratory issues, whether it's an occasional threat that's caused you to have congestion, or if you have pretty regular issues with breathing, this is a great oil that you can use, the Breathe Respiratory Blend. Use it daily if you are somebody or you know someone that has struggles on a daily basis with clear breathing, or just use it occasionally when you need it. You can diffuse it overnight just to help keep the airways clear and have a more restful, deep sleep. If you have somebody who struggles with sleep and their breathing seems to be uneven, or they even have snoring or something at night, Breathe in a diffuser is a great thing to try. Another thing, specifically if you have elementary aged students or you are a teacher and exposed to a lot of elementary aged kids, lice is an issue. And you can use Melaleuca as a preventative just by adding it to your shampoo or conditioner. So that will kind of deter them. They don't like the Melaleuca. So If you are exposed, they may not want to reside on your scalp. If you do happen to have an infestation, then there are a couple ways you can treat it. You can use olive oil because that's going to help bind to the hair and smother them. And then rosemary, lavender, and melaleuca. Or you could do eucalyptus or peppermint with lemon. So there's a wide variety of oils that you can use that could be effective. And you would just mix those together and then massage it really good into the scalp. My daughter had a case last year. It's the first time in my life I had ever dealt with it. So we went ahead and we used this protocol. And then I just put a shower cap on her hair and let it sit for a bit. And with a knit comb, everything was completely gone. We cleared it up very, very quickly. So your kids need you, so keep yourself healthy as well. So make sure you're not just doing these things for your children, but you're also taking care of yourself. Preventative healthcare means creating a daily habit of physical and emotional well-being. You can stay strong naturally, but make yourself a priority too. Using that balance every day when you wake up, taking those lifelong vitality supplements, and using the On Guard on a daily basis. So if we can start implementing these things right now, that gives us plenty of time to build up healthy habits, build up our immune system, get our sleep back on track, get our nutrition under control, and send the kids back to school confidently, and ourselves as teachers go back confidently, and as parents know that you've done the very best thing you can for your kids and your family. One of the best tools that you will definitely need as you start on your oil journey is this book called Modern Essentials. And there's another one not pictured that I want to mention called The Essential Life. But if you go to aromatools.com or oillife.com, you're going to find these in the reference book section. And it has everything that you could ever need to know about using your essential oils to help your family stay healthy. When I first got this book, just would read through it leisurely and loved learning everything possible. Many of you are rather new to doTERRA. You've recently enrolled as either a wholesale customer or a wellness advocate. So I just want to show you and just remind you about the Loyalty Rewards program, because using the Loyalty Rewards program is definitely the smartest way to buy, especially if you really want to embrace this lifestyle of natural health and wellness. You will have products that you're going to need every month, whether it's the supplements and vitamins. If you decide to implement the On Guard cleaning products into your home, there's hair care, there's skincare, there's a whole spa line of products, and then of course the amazing essential oils. So really you can swap out a lot of what you're already buying at the store, which may have chemicals and not such great ingredients, for some of the things that doTERRA offers. So this is a monthly order that's completely optional and flexible. And you're not locked into ordering any certain dollar amount. You're not locked into a day of the month even that it processes. It's completely customizable and up to you. Now, if you do order a certain amount of product every month, you're gonna earn rewards and bonuses. So you're gonna get a certain percentage back on every purchase. You can get a free product of the month if you order it by the 15th and your total is 100 PV. But you can choose the dates that it ships and you can change it from month to month. Now, I know some of you are interested in not just utilizing the products, but sharing them with others and creating a little bit of supplementary income to maybe even get all of your oils for free every month and cover your order. When I initially started with doTERRA and I saw how amazing they worked, I was determined I was going to be able to order every single month and find a way to get everything possible from doTERRA and share with others so that I could earn a little bit of money to help cover my orders as well. If you do decide to develop a business with doTERRA, or even just earn a little bit additional income, the opportunity really is endless. The sky is the limit. There are amazing ways to earn, and the company is so generous and has designed this business to be just such a beneficial blessing for everyone who decides to utilize it. So, you're your own boss. So you do have to have some motivation that comes from the inside out. Nobody is telling you what to do. You're not punching a clock every day. So finding your why is going to be the best thing that you can do to help motivate yourself and really focus on why you would want to take this incredible opportunity, thinking outside the box a little bit, and become, empowered with your own business. So finding your why, if you're having a little bit of trouble really articulating it, just ask yourself some of these questions. What do you do with your free time? Do you even have free time? What would you love to do, either for fun or for a living? If you could pick anything and earn money doing it, what would you love to do? What would you love to accomplish? What would you try if you were guaranteed to succeed? And this is a huge one. Put all your fears aside. What big thoughts move your heart into a state of excitement and joy? What's your passion? What's your calling? What excites you that you would do all day, every day if possible? And why is this important to you? If you find you have a strong why and you want to pursue this, we are here to help you succeed. This is an amazing team that you have become a part of, with incredible leaders and support everywhere. And all we want to do is help each other and help each other succeed and achieve your dreams. All the meanwhile, we are helping people have the happiest, healthy lives possible. It truly is just a win-win. So I'll open it up to questions right now, but I'm going to stop the recording when I do that. And thank you all for your time and your attention today. I truly hope you learned something new and valuable that you can start implementing right away so that you can have the healthiest year yet. Don't forget that you can reach out to whomever it was that shared doTERRA with you initially and got you started, or any of the upline leaders, myself included. I'm happy to answer questions and assist in any way. Thanks again, everyone, for participating. And I hope to see you all very soon and just hear all of the amazing success stories that you've had implementing a little bit of what we talked about. Have a great one.